There are several cars ahead. Dave gets into one of the cars. An elderly man hid in the back seat. He glances at a huge bloody monster that looks like the skeleton of a bull. He is very close. The bull passes by the car without noticing them, and begins to chew on the lying body. Dave very quietly rolls the car back to Laura and the kids. Now both cars are standing side by side, but they need to somehow get over to a new one. Meanwhile, the bull noticed them. Then the man gets out of the car, sprinkles the bull with salt from the jar that he was holding in his hands. The bull stopped. The kids and Laura manage to run into Dave's car. Then the bull rushes at the man and tears him to shreds. But Dave manages to drive away from there. Hordes of monsters flock to the city from all sides. Dave is driving down an abandoned road in the mountains. They drive up to Ted's hideout. It is really sound and looks like a concrete bunker. There are cameras on the roof, but no one reacts when they knock. The doors are closed. Ted is sitting behind the monitor. A gun is put to his neck. Someone is standing behind. Monsters run in a herd along the mountain. They rush straight to the shelter. Dave grabs a tire iron in an attempt to protect the family, but at the last moment, the doors of the bunker open and they run into it. Dave happily hugs Ted. Besides him, his wife Stella is in the bunker, and a military man is sitting in the corner. Ted introduces him as his acquaintance, Corporal Garrett Jensen. The monitors show how the monsters are trying to smash the door. Everyone is tense, and Garrett keeps to himself. Maddie asks how the monsters feel them. Can they see through the walls? Garrett smirks. They react to light, heat, but I think they see our soul. They are the offspring of the devil, which means God too. They torment the flesh, but feed on the soul. Are you religious, Corporal? Laura asks. Today, yes, he replies. He says that on the first judgment day he worked at a refinery. When the monsters poured in there, he managed to dive into a pond of salty mud, where they were afraid to approach. He sat in the dirt and listened as the monsters destroyed 150 of his colleagues and friends. Garrett is very engrossed in his story and doesn't notice Ted signaling Dave to touch the knife. Dave understands and quietly takes the knife. That is why it is called Judgment Day, continues Garrett. The devil rules on this day. At this time, something that looks like a centipede crawls from the street into a small hole in the mesh covering the window. Garrett says he'll be on duty first. Ted invites them to stay as well and looks meaningfully at Dave. But then Garrett pulls the gun out of its holster, forcing Dave to put down the knife. Garrett explains that he tried to hide and found this hideout. Kind Stella let him in, although Ted was against it. He survived the first time and will survive now, no matter what the cost.